Look, sum up this week for us. It's been a big one, hasn't it? Monday, we were talking about a correction. It looked like a bear market. As a trader, how do you kind of move your sentiment, look at your positions and make sure that you're covered?
Well, I think, Cara, the most important thing is take on board all of the fundamental news that really sweeps across the market with 5 or so central banks meeting. And what you've got to be conscious of is the market doesn't sleep. So it's open 24 hours a day. It's not as though the equity market finishes at 4 o'clock. The currency markets just keep on going. And so that creates times over that period, over that 4-day window, that you can be long and short many times due to all of that different news coming through. And we've had Evergrande, we've had the Fed, had the Bank of England, Bank of Japan. They're looking for a new prime minister. We've had an election this week with Trudeau just coming in, pipping the post and getting first place in Canada. And of course, you've got the election this weekend in Germany. So all of those big, I think, simmering pots on the stove need to take a time over that week to dial up the gas, and then other times you're backing it off a little.
All right, so what has been the trade of the week for you then? What has been on your screens?
Well, I think it's got to be a couple of things. First off, if I look over the last 12 to 24 hours, you'd say US equities have had a really nice uptick. You'd say the US dollar's come under a little pressure to the downside. Aussie's been up. Also, crude oil, I can't believe it. I mean, I sit here and just gasp. We're at 73.30 for WTI. We're at 77.20 for Brent this morning. So that really creates a different framework from an inflation point. I also think that US dollar may come under a little bit of pressure to the downside.
Pete, let's dive into that WTI price and have a look at one of the charts that you've been looking at. I mean, as you said, it's been pretty crazy out there. As a trader, what would you be looking at the moment?
Well, I think that it's just that momentum story. I worry about a couple of things. I worry about the inflation spike. I worry about how do you settle the crude oil energy markets over where they've just been parabolic over the last couple of weeks. It's been dramatic from that $60 lows that we saw at 62 or so. It's been one-way traffic up 20%. So that momentum, I think, will continue. You can see it on the chart there. It's still looking very, very bullish. And that possibly is where we are over the next month. Though you've got to also take on board, if there's no geopolitical shocks, I'm worried about Evergrande. I'm worried about a lot of those different external factors that can affect the crude market. But we had a very big push up overnight with copper up 3.5%. Could be good for the miners over here, and a number of the other base metals were well bid up, so that'll carry crude a little bit higher as well.